Welcome to the IHH for Veteran weekly live stream. Here at IHH for Veterans, we specialize in assisting veterans with their physical and mental health transformation. This group addresses the unique challenges of veterans to improve their overall quality of life. Many veterans have expressed they have questions regarding Black history. So this evening, we will be discussing the Black history heroes of our country. This is an article by Aaron Cassere from February 3rd, 2023. Black History Month is an opportunity to recognize the contributions and sacrifices made by African American veterans who served our country with distinction. From the Civil War to the present day, these heroes have broken barriers, made history, and in some instances, sacrificed their lives for our freedom. Let's take a closer look at their stories of service and valor. During the Civil War, U.S. Army Sergeant William H. Carney. Black History Month is an opportunity to recognize the contributions and sacrifices made by African American veterans who served our country with distinction. From the Civil War to the present day, these heroes have broken barriers, made history, and in some instances, sacrificed their lives for our freedom. Let's take a closer look at their story. The Civil War, U.S. Army Sergeant William H. Carney. Born into slavery, Carney secretly was schooled despite restrictions banning Blacks from learning to read and write. In March 1863, he joined the Union Army, and that July, during a charge of Fort Wagner, South Carolina, his unit's color guard was shot. Carney caught the falling U.S. flag and held it upright, never letting it touch the ground, despite sustaining gunshot wounds and nearly losing his life. He received the Medal of Honor for his actions. During World War I, U.S. Army Sergeant Henry Johnson. Johnson was a member of the 369th Infantry Regiment, known as the Harlem Hellfighters. During World War I, he suffered 21 combat injuries during a surprise German attack while on night duty in France. Despite the wounds, he managed to protect his fellow soldiers from capture using only a knife. Johnson was awarded the French Concierge Palme, the country's highest award for valor. In World War II, U.S. Navy mess attendant, second class Dory Miller. During the Pearl Harbor attack in 1941, Miller, a cook on the USS West Virginia, manned a machine gun despite having no training and successfully fired at Japanese aircraft. For his bravery, he was the first African American to be awarded the Navy Cross. During the Korean War, U.S. Army Sergeant Cornelius S. Carleton. Carleton took charge of his platoon when his leader was injured and had to be evacuated. Despite receiving a serious chest wound, Carleton refused medical treatment and led a third charge against the enemy. Saving many soldiers in his platoon, he died of his wounds and posthumously received the Medal of Honor for his actions. During Vietnam War, PFC Milton Oliver III. Oliver made the ultimate sacrifice during Vietnam War to save the lives of his comrades. When a grenade was thrown into the midst of his unit, Oliver quickly grabbed it and fell on it, costing him his life. He was the first African American to be awarded the Medal of Honor for his actions during the Vietnam War. During the Gulf War, General Colin Powell. After serving 2 tours in Vietnam, Powell was the first Black chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, overseeing Operation Desert Storm and ultimately the defeat of Iraq. He would, in 2000, become the first Black Secretary of State nominated by George W. Bush. He received numerous military awards and decorations, including recognition from over 24 countries. War in Afghanistan, Iraq. SFC Alwyn Chase. Chase served in the Gulf War and in a 2003 tour in Iraq, and was deployed again in 2005 in support of the Operation Iraqi Freedom. After his unit was struck by an improvised explosive device, IED, he rescued 6 soldiers and an Iraq interpreter from their burning vehicles. Approximately 72% of his body was burned, which resulted in his death. He was postmortemly awarded the Medal of Honor for his actions in 2021. To schedule a complimentary assessment, find out more about veterans in our past and future, you can go to my website, veteransvictory.com. Thank you and good evening.